The new skate game really interests me because I don't think it's bad, but I think that there's a lot more that it could be. Because I personally have quite a lot to say about this game. I think there's quite a lot of good. I do also think there is quite a lot of bad, and I think this game, after spending a good few hours on it, has just left me overall very mixed. So let me get, straight to the point about my history in playing video games, because this is going to be really important. So growing up, I never had a console. Most of the games that I ever played on were Flash games, except for the occasional time that my brother would let me play on his DS, and that would be playing New Super Mario Bros. Or Mario Kart on DS. Those were my gaming experiences. But the first ever games I can vividly remember playing were Skate 2 and Wii Sports Bowling. This was back when I would probably have been maybe 3, maybe 4, when my mum would drop me off at one of her friend's house to babysit. Her son would take me into the living room and we would play Wii Sports Bowling, and we would play Skate 2. And I remember being good at Skate 2, but now that I have a fully developed frontal lobe, not really, but I also very much am aware that he was probably the one controlling, how it goes. So then years went on by, and I always remembered playing Skate 2 in my head, but then I never really played it until Skate 3 came out, and anytime I was at a friend's house, it was always we would be playing Skate 3. Now, I don't think that's a hot take to say that Skate 3 is an amazing party game on just being able to kind of sit down and chill, pass the controller around when somebody crashes. It's just a good vibe, and that's all it needs to be. But one thing that I think everybody respects about Skate, even, is that it introduced the skating culture to so many more people, and it really understood skating culture at the time. See, I skate, not so much now, but from COVID till about last year, I skated pretty regularly, on and off a bit. And the biggest driving force behind me wanting to learn to skate was Skate 3, because I remember doing all these cool tricks, even just on the flat, doing really simple stuff, nothing on the mega reps and stuff, and it just feeling so nice to do, and being like, I want to do that in real life. So we jump back to the middle of COVID when, out of nowhere, it got announced that there's a new skate game coming out. And that's awesome. And then we heard nothing about it for 5 years. Well, you did get invited to playtests. I applied to join some of the early playtests, and I did get invited quite a few times, but I just kind of didn't check my emails when I realized that I had the option. And now that it's out on early access, it's really interesting to see what those 5 years of development, potentially more than 5 years, has resulted in, and it is very meh. So, firstly, I want to talk about some of the positives that I personally think about this new skate game. If you're here for negatives, you're gonna have to wait around for a while, okay? Some of the things I think are really nice so far is, I think the movement and the skating just feels so nice. It honestly feels the best it's ever felt in the Skate series. It's just nice and responsive. It feels pretty realistic. I know, look at this, it's realistic. And it's just pretty comfortable. I also do quite like the map. I think it's missing some aspects, but the map is fun. The map, it's nice, and I like the idea that they've gone with for the map of it being a very nice flat ground, a lot of just simple street stuff to start off with. For people who are employed, I think this is a perfectly serviceable game, okay? And that's really, I think, the main audience that the skate games are for, is the employed crowd. And I think that's absolutely fine, obviously. Now, that's kind of, honestly, I know I said you're going to be here for a while, that's kind of where my positives end, because there are quite a lot of negatives and issues I want to talk about. Firstly, the art style. Either you're just going to be kind of on it, or you're going to hate it. I'm on it. I don't really care, because when I'm playing a skate game, I'm not looking at my character, I'm looking at the board. So, if you don't like the art style, then you might not enjoy the game, which is fine. And I get why they've gone with this art style, because they plan to release the game on mobile later down the line, which I think is a bad idea. Just inherently, I already don't like that at all. If you want to release a mobile version of Skate that's a bit more basic and stripped down, I think that's fine, but I would rather not bring all the mobile users onto the same servers as the console and PC players, just because then you're going to obviously see that skill issue, and obviously the servers are going to end up being populated by kids on mummy's iPad. There's also some other issues, I think, that are quite big. Mainly, I don't like the fact that the tutorial starts you off on this giant mega ramp. If you look at Skate 3 specifically, you started off learning how to push and learning how to ollie, and it felt really realistic. Whereas this game opens up as, this ain't your grandma's skate game. You know, this is the new hip skate game that's all for the modern era. It's so cool, and look at all this stuff. Especially because you kind of get to the map, and it is, again, a lot of flat ground. There are those mega ramps and those, you know, high octane stuff, but you really have to go out and search for them if you want them. This new Skate as well is also a live service game, so that already, personally for me, is kind of very not gonna make me want to play it all the time. Live services have always just been a bit of an ick for me. I don't really ever want to play them because I don't like that whole gameplay loop of we want to get you back here every single day. I want to play a game just whenever I feel like it, and I think a lot of people do. I don't think this is a really unique idea. And the thing that I have an issue with is that this game is very heavily built around that daily grind, okay? You want to unlock more stuff, you gotta do those daily challenges. You want to fast travel, you gotta do those daily challenges to level up, to unlock fast travel points, which I think, personally for me, is the biggest issue with this game. The fact that fast traveling is tied to leveling up. Why? I don't mind the fact that there's a bunch of fast travel points and on a pretty small map. I think that's fine. What I do think you should do, though, is just have the fast travel points unlock when you discover the fast travel locations, okay? I spent, I want to say, about 10 minutes climbing up what I think is the tallest building on the map just to see what's up there. And there was just a fast travel point, which is cool, you know? You can just jump off and dive bomb and just fuck around off buildings, which I think is also really cool. I like the climbing mechanics, and I like how you've got all those just different wacky things to do. But I hate how you have to level up to them. Another big issue with this game is that there is no story mode. You see, I don't think anybody plays the skate games for the story mode, okay? But they're a really nice add-on to have, because they actually do add quite a bit of context onto the world. Like, for example, Skate 3, with all the pros being around, you trying to make a brand and coming up to the level of the pros. I think that's just a neat idea. A story mode doesn't need to be this giant idea, it just needs to be something cute, I guess. And you see, I get that these are all just symptoms of the modern day gaming industry, but one thing I also do have an issue with about the fact that it's tied to this modern day gaming industry is having to do the daily challenges for the freemium currency. You see, personally, what I think would be more interesting is that you can just buy items with the points you use, okay? Some items you can lock behind, you have to pay for the main currency for these. But I think, personally, if you want to lock items behind things, either A, have them tied to challenges to unlock, which is fine, or make the prices incredibly high, and you have to unlock them through trick lines. And although, say, every 1,000 points goes to like $10 or something, and you need to spend like, everything is like 1,000, 10,000 fucking point bucks, or whatever you want to call it. I think that would just, personally for me, make the game a bit better. So those are just some of the issues I have. Again, I don't think it's bad that this game is going for this approach. I will still play it occasionally. It's still going to be a fun just pick up for 15 minutes and chill game. But though, here's one of my biggest shocks things I'm kind of shocked about, is the fact that there's not really any party modes. There's no modes, or there's no fun in there at all. How have you made a skate game that doesn't have the game Skate in it? And I just find that in this new game, there's not really many social features or anything that I feel like would really thrive off this. You see, this game, from the 6-7 hours I've put into it so far, really do feel like it could be a perfect just social game where it's, you know, you and your friends get home from work, you just hop on, you just jump in here, chat, and you chill for an hour. And the fact that there's no voice chat, like, I think this game would really thrive with a proximity chat that maybe you need to prove that you're 18 or something to be able to use or something, because obviously they want to protect kids. I think, and I know that they're planning on bringing in party chat in season 2 in December this year, but I think that should be number 1. I think that should be brought up to the, like, priority. See, most of what I think will be interesting are being added in the second season, okay? Because the replay mode in this, a game in 2025 with a replay mode is actually shocking. But the replay mode is very basic at the moment. But December, apparently it'll be updated, so we'll see. Also, one issue I have with the game, again, just back on like the design thing, is the fact that it's going for a mobile release means it's going for this really kid-friendly approach, which means iconic aspects of Skate like Hall of Meat aren't here anymore. Which, I personally love the Hall of Meat levels. They were really fun challenges, and that just kind of makes me really upset that you can't do them. And even though they still have all like a lot of the same movement, like you can take these nasty falls, I really wish that Hall of Meat was here. And I know that's not going to happen because I think this game is rated E for everyone, and that's just unfortunate, but it's just the times we live in with the modern gaming industry. Okay, this is going to be my last negative point, and this is just kind of on terms of the map design, where I hope, Philly, if you're still watching this, you've noticed this. The map is so incredibly clean. See, the game lore is that this is a city that has been built up for skaters specifically. And if that, which is, you know, that's fine, that's a cute idea, but if you're looking at this, why is everything so clean? Why is everything so perfect? Why is there just no grime, no chips, no nothing, okay? If you look at the original Skate, like the first 3 Skate games, the maps were filthy, they were disgusting, they were grimy and realistic, and this game just doesn't have that. And I don't like the fact that it's too clean. One of my friends she's studying game design this morning, I was talking to her about this last night, and she said this perfectly. A clean map is a sign of a rushed game. Now, I really just want the map to be a bit more dirty, okay? Just have like some loose trash and stuff around, or just have like some grime marks, okay? I don't know if this game, maybe in a few months I'll have my words eaten, because this game will have something in it like Death Stranding's Ghost Pass, how the routes that players tread, or the spots that skaters skate on will get more destroyed. But the game's just too clean. After 7 hours of skating, my board is still perfectly clean. I don't have any cuts and scrapes on my character. The map is spotless, and that's an issue I have. Also, again, just, I know it's early access, but there are some glitches, like this epileptic-inducing glitch when I opened up to record today, looking like something straight out of fucking server blight. So, yeah. Anyway, that was all I really have to say about Skate. I just kind of wanted to sit down, yap, and just talk about it for a little bit, because this is a game I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's a game I do enjoy, despite how much negativity I've talked about this. And yeah, I'll see you when the next video comes out. Please like, please subscribe, please go and tell your mother-in-law that you hate her. Okay, bye.